Hey, everybody. Welcome to Saint Misbehavin', the podcast about saints from people who are not. I am your host. My name is Matthew Shadorn, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host slash chief researcher slash good acquaintance from work. Anna Domini. How are you doing today, Anna?
Well, other than totally heartbroken by what you just said, I'm not too bad. It's nice to be here.
That's good. That's good.
It's a podcast about saints.
Oh yeah. So this is a podcast about saints. Anna is going to regale us with the tale of a saint whose feast day it is today. But before we get into that, Anna, have you done anything particularly saintly since we last talked? Like anything, you done any particular good deeds or experienced any kind of miraculous acts?
I'd say I did a kind of punitive act, really, that kind of felt sort of like I was doing some saintly going into the desert. Basically, last year I lent my neighbor my Christmas tree, which I think, is on a par with stuff that Jesus did.
Sure.
So because we were going away for Christmas, but we'd had our tree, so I lent my neighbor the tree. And it came to getting our tree this year, and I realized she hadn't given the stand back, the tree stand.
Wait, so this wasn't an artificial tree?
No.
Okay.
Because we had it decorated, and then we went away for a week, on Christmas Eve or something.
Oh, okay.
So then, because she didn't have to buy a tree, so
Yeah,
it was a nice deed. But the way that I was thanked for that was we never got the tree stand back, and then when our tree arrived yesterday ready for this Christmas, I looked out of the window because it's my neighbour in the same block of flats and realised that the tree stand had just been outside in the garden for a year. So I spent my evening yesterday cleaning out this tree stand that had a year's worth of rain and mud in it, and it was like a swamp. It was like a miniature swamp.
Wait, but you don't live on the ground floor. So she just left it outside the apartment. It's not even she left it outside your door.
No. She just in the garden, completely exposed for a year. So as I was washing it out, it basically turned my whole bathroom into a muddy sort of wilderness. So I was dealing with all this mud and swamp, and it was very unpleasant. And it felt a little this is why don't do good deeds.
No, I feel like you missed the point of the whole thing.
Well, possibly. The season of goodwill and charity.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like you're not a good person.
What? If that's what I think a good deed is, I see. Okay.
I don't know. It was
nice that
you lent them to that. It was them that really. But you turned the other cheek. You didn't.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't empty the swamp into there.
No retaliation.
No, exactly. No.
And you didn't after you saw it was in the yard, go and knock on the door and be like, "Hey, where's that tree stand?"
I thought it'd be more awkward not to mention it at all ever again.
Yeah. So.
Because that's the way I operate. So.
Well, that was nice of you in the past, and it was good of you in the future or in the present to reuse a tree stand, I guess, and not just go out and buy a new one.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been the wasteful, selfish option that I could have done.
So you got your tree up. But we should say for people, we're recording this about a month ahead of time. So it's not like Anna just got a tree for... It's you get those trees in January, you get a real good deal.
Yeah, I mean, setting a trend for brown trees for December. That's
just real fire trap. But that's great. So, well, I'm glad you did something good this week. I didn't really do much of anything. I did watch a fun religious movie, a movie with a religious theme called Yes, God, Yes, which is very funny on Netflix.
Is it about someone wanking over God?
It's not exactly. It's about a teenage girl in Catholic school and is raised very devoutly Catholic and kind of coming to terms with
repression.
Sexuality. Yeah, repression and figuring out her own body and whatnot. And it's very fun, and it's written by Karen Maine, and she wrote Obvious Child, which is a movie I really like by Gillian Robespierre from a few years ago. And yeah, I mean, it's written and directed by a woman, so that is pretty miraculous.
So you think I might like it?
No.
One of those lady films.
Yeah, everybody gets their period, I assume. I don't know. But no, I just thought it was very fun. And it's only 77 minutes, so everybody's got the time for that. Anyways.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained, nothing lost.
Yeah, exactly. There's worse ways to waste your time, I'm sure. I don't know this about you, but you strike me as the kind of person who watches a lot of reality TV, Anna.
Whoa. Hey, you just heard I spend my time cleaning out swamps.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Anna, today is January 31st, or rather when this comes out. We've already said we're recording it early.
Shattered the illusion already.
But today is January 31st, 2021. Who is today's saint, Anna?
Well, actually, there are a few saints whose feast day is today, but sadly, a lot of them didn't have much to their story. So, for example, Saint Wilgils had a fun name.
That is a really fun name.
Well, the alternatives, he's also known as Will Gizzle and Hilgis. So, yeah, other than having loads of fun aliases that sound like everyone's being strangled and trying to choke out the name, he also was the father of Saint Willie Broad, which is another fun one.
Willie Broad is his first name.
I get it. Well, it must have been because his dad was called Will Gizzle.
Right.
So
I guess it's true. I can't argue with that logic. Will Gizzle sounds like, was it just a fish? Was he just a fish? Is one of those big mouth Billy Bass fish that go on the wall, and when you walk by, it
starts rapping the Lord's Prayer.
Or something like that. Yeah, it sings a fun.
No, he was just there's not really much about him other than that he lived as a hermit on the banks of the River Humber. He might have been quite familiar with swamps. Actually.
Wait, if he was a hermit, how did he have a son?
That is a good point. I feel like if we had the resources, we could find some scandal here.
I feel like we just don't understand what a hermit is. I'm starting to really say, like, is it me that doesn't know, or is it them? Because I felt like I had a really clear picture of what a hermit was, and I feel like you've really been shattering a lot of my illusions here.
Well, I mean, if our purpose here is to educate, then the first people we can do that to is ourselves, right?
Wait, so when is Shifty Wizzlegizzle? What's his name? What's the son's name?
So his name is Wilgils / Wilgizzle / Hilgis, and his son is St Willie Broad. So Wilgils' saint day is today, but Willie Broad is sometime in November. No. Let me have a look. Sorry, this is very boring. My internet is being very slow, which is very promising. So Willie Broad's day is the 7th of November, which this year is actually a Sunday. So who knows? We may learn more about him and his dodgy beginnings later in the year. So that's a reson to stay tuned.
There's a 50-50 chance we'll come back. So check back in November. Or no, download all the episodes. And
I love a bit of good internal product marketing there.
So that's what we call a teaser in the biz. So Will Gills didn't make the cut today. Who is today's saint?
Today, instead, we are talking about St Don Bosco. He also had a few aliases because he was, in fact, Italian. So his real name is Giovanni Bosco.
Wait, you made it sound like he's Italian. Like, he had a lot of aliases because, he's Italian, and we know how those people are. They're just born criminals.
I mean, he was a saint. I feel like you've forgotten where we are now, because he's known in English as St John Bosco, but obviously his real Italian name is Giovanni Bosco.
No.
And it gets worse. And as in from me, not. But he was also known popularly as Don Bosco because he was a boss. Not a mafia boss. God damn it,
See,
Matthew.
This is what I'm saying. Like, it's starting to feel like I'm getting a very stereotypical image here coming from Giovanni.
Well, he was born in 1815, so that was before organized crime was an issue.
I don't think you understand organized crime.
Well, I mean, the only thing he organized was the Catholic Church, so that remains to be seen. But we'll find out more about that in a minute. He was born on the 16th of August, 1815, in the evening, apparently. Oh. So now that we're sort of a bit more recent, we can
that's much more specific,
a bit more exact.
Yeah, like that's because it was Saint Genevieve was like
for Genevieve, it was like a 3-year window that she might have been born.
And now we're down to like a 3-hour window, like because you said like the evening, which is a very specific period of time from like 4:30 to maybe 7:30, depending on the time of year.
Yeah. Well, I guess August, so could have been a longer
maybe could have been later in the evening.
Window.
Still, I think.
But either way, I think we know that his dad was having a glass of wine, and that was socially
Again, I feel like you have a bad stereotypes about Italians here.
I mean, that's just humans in the evening. I wasn't.
I just feel like we're getting really close to a very like a racist.
Surely, if I was promoting that theory, I would have said like moonshine, some other prohibition era beverage.
I don't think they had prohibition. That's just an American thing.
Yeah, I know. I was referring to the mafia
Oh, I see.
races. Never mind.
Right.
Never mind.
He was having a nice glass of heroin. So
That's not mentioned in the Catholic Encyclopedia,
yeah,
but I mean, maybe that's a deliberate cover-up
right.
there. We don't know. We can never really know. Allegedly.
So 1815 in the mid
evening,
the mid to late day, and he comes rolling out and
into a little cabin in the hillside hamlet of Becky with the good moonshine.
Yeah. So he's born in a log cabin. He's like, is he like Italy's Abraham Lincoln? So
something like that.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, there were some assassination attempts, but we'll get to those. that took a turn.
When he was a baby, they tried to assassinate him. Like, that's a fucked up baby.
No, that would have been quite a lot, really. No, it was later when he started having opinions. Because boys from log cabins aren't allowed opinions.
Okay.
There's one thing we know. He was the youngest son of Francesco Bosco and Margherita Occhienna. Sorry.
Constantly drinking that one.
I mean, her name was a cocktail, right? I mean, you gotta.
Yeah. So.
Sorry, it sounded like you were about to ask something.
No.
Okay, I'll continue. He had two older brothers. Do you want to know what their names were?
Yes.
Antonio and Giuseppe.
Oh, it's getting too stereotypical now. I feel like you're making some of this up.
I'm not. These are just their names. I'm having fun, but like these are just
also his brothers Mario and Luigi. They were plumbers.
No, Matthew, that's racist.
Okay, sorry. Well, I don't know. See, I've been told that I'm not allowed to do comical Italian accents in Europe. Now that I live in Europe, because in America it's the funniest thing. Be like, hey, it's me, Giuseppe. I'm born on a pizza pie. Like that's just everybody in America loves that. But apparently, I'm a racist.
Well, we've apparently maybe left Europe now.
Yeah.
So this is part of that seeking that American sweet deal.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to align myself more with your culture. I guess
you get the American trade deal where you can just be as racist as you want to people,
but you have to eat chicken that's been pumped full of chemicals. So potato. No one actually says potato though, right? Even in America.
I think posh people say potato, right?
I've met a lot of posh people, as you can probably tell.
No.
And I mean, my granny actually used to call pizza, so she was pretty posh.
Is that a posh?
I don't know. I think she also called plastic.
That sounds posh.
Yeah. Well, it was very confusing for me when I broke my arm as a 5-year-old because I went round showing everyone my plaster cast, and I said, "Hey, do you want to see my plaster cast?"
That's funny.
True story.
I don't doubt it. My wife says I sometimes use posh words because she says that I say the word scone wrong, and
you do. Yes, it's
scone, but I'm like, but it's spelled like bone or phone.
But it's also spelled like gone.
Right.
It's also spelled like one. So
I should call it
that's the crime police, the racism police. They're after us.
Crime police. So I should call it a scone? No, a scone? No, a scone.
A scone.
I don't know, whatever. I'm going to call it a scone until I die.
Because otherwise the joke doesn't work.
What's the joke?
What's the fastest kind of food? Gone.
Okay, well, that joke doesn't work.
I wish I'd written that.
You wish? You'd be a millionaire today. You get all that.
I would.
Get all that popsicle stick and Christmas cracker money. All right, where were we? We were talking about his family.
We hadn't got very far, I will admit. So yes, Giovanni, youngest son of Francesco and Margherita, and his older brothers were Antonio and Giuseppe.
Right.
Which I love because, if he'd been born in England, they'd have been called John, Tony, and Joe, right? So
Sure.
it's a bit more glamorous sounding.
I guess so. I think most things that are not from England are more glamorous sounding.
The Boscos of Becci were farmhands, so they worked for another family, so they didn't own any land, but they were farmers. So quite poor.
Finally,
and
some
it was
poor
actually...
saints.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. Deprivation, give it to me.
Well, okay, I'll set a sad tale then, because it was a time of great shortage and famine in the area, following the devastation that had been wrought by the Napoleonic Wars and drought. So the region had been hit by a lot of
Wait, was it a
hardship.
Napoleonic drought too? Like Napoleon's like, oh, I drink all the water. Well, actually, I guess he was Italian too. He's like, it's me. I drink all the water. It's me and Napoleon. I drink the water.
Oh wow.
Anyway.
I wonder if Italians feel about your Italian accent the way I feel about your British accent.
Undoubtedly. But you know what? I feel that way about Italian American accents, I'm sure.
Wow, I thought you were about to say I feel that way about Italian.
You know what? They're gonna go straight to hell. No, I mean the Italians are fine people, I'm sure. I have nothing to say about Italian.
Me neither. I mean they've invented all my favorite foods.
That's true. Pizza is by far the greatest invention mankind's ever created. And it's totally the Italians. So yeah. Anyways, but what were we talking about?
This is really descending.
Yeah, we didn't get anywhere. We're not getting anywhere with this. This is gonna be so much editing. I'm gonna do so much editing for this. So what were we talking about?
It was the time of deprivation.
Oh right, it was this,
which we're taking very seriously.
Oh yes, the Napoleonic Wars.
So it was basically a lot of these like rural regions were kind of left behind a bit. There was poverty a lot. So not much happened between him being born and him being 2.
That's true for most people. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say most people's biography between 0 and 2 are pretty thin.
So we're going to skip ahead a couple of years.
Just 2 years. Okay, you know what? I'll allow it.
It's going to be a long time recording this.
If we're doing this in 2-year increments, I feel like we might have some. It might be a long ass episode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, we've been dwelling on the one evening for about half an hour now. So the only thing more painful than hearing about this was probably the actual labour for his mum. So yes, sadly, when he was 2, his dad died. Francesco, leaving the support of the 3 boys solely to his mother, Margherita, who swiftly put them to work. Presumably not that swiftly, because still 2. But from quite a young age, the kids were working. And Antonio was the main breadwinner, but Giovanni also had to work. And he was working as a shepherd. Okay,
because he was much older. He was sick, and so he was...
Yeah, I don't know, because Giuseppe was 2 years older, but I can't find how old Antonio is, but he was the eldest. But yeah, so after a while, I guess, in that kind of time, children were a burden until they could start pulling their weight, or sheep in this case. So
you can pull your weight in sheep. You were just a useless piece of shit.
Shit, puke, noise. Yeah. You got all that to look forward to.
Thanks.
Are you inspired by any of these names so far?
No. I'm going to stick with Genevieve. Boy or girl?
Fair enough. I mean, gender is a construct.
It is,
so
really.
Genevieve worked for either, I'd say. Or all.
Everybody.
I should say.
Yeah, you fucking... I can't believe you said either. You're canceled, Anna.
Oh my god. It was okay. No, I'm not going to try and fund myself.
That's all right.
It's deeply ingrained cisnormativity that I have to work hard to resist and evolve from every day, as we all do.
We're all growing. We're all trying.
Yeah. You don't sound like you're trying that hard.
I'm not the one who.
Because you were the one that said boy or girl first.
Well, okay, fine. You're right. I don't. Yeah. That's fair.
But being a saint or aspiring to be or whatever we're doing here, step 1, acknowledging that you're a sinner anyway, right?
That's true.
So,
and we are. We're all made of just foolishness.
Shit. Actual shit.
Yeah.
That's what original sin says, is that humans are pure garbage.
Yeah.
And I'd say that's borne out by Twitter and geopolitics.
Sure.
So Giovanni, Don, well, not Don at this point, I guess, started working as a shepherd, and a little later on, he also started receiving instruction from a priest, and he was super
just
interested.
Like, hey, go over there. Just like random instruction. Like, stand
feed
on
that
one
foot.
Sheep.
So he was really interested in the Bible and theology, as you would possibly expect. But he was forced to choose between studying and helping his family, and, pulling his weight as a shepherd boy.
What did he pick?
So, he got a lot of pressure from big brother Tony, telling him that he couldn't aspire to be a priest because that career path was the preserve of wealthy people at the time.
Fair.
And he was like, "You're just a farmer like us, all you'll ever." I don't know if that's an exact.
That feels like the point in the biopic where it's just like, "You're never gonna be a priest."
Yeah.
I'll show you. I'm gonna be the best priest there ever was.
Well, he showed him because now he's a saint. So
yeah, and so's his kid.
Wait, no, that was.
Oh no, that was
That
Fishwife's
was
kid.
Will Gill.
Oh yeah, Will Gill's kid, right?
Oh, I should never have brought that up. It's just going to confuse you.
It is.
In 1825, when he was 9, so we've skipped forward a few more years, you'll
Great.
be grateful.
Don't you know what? When you point it out, it just slows the whole process down. And me pointing out, you pointing it out is also slowing the process down. So let's just move
It's
on.
beautiful. I mean, basically, Matthew, I haven't done any work for this, so I'm just trying to, keep spinning the tale as far as it can go.
Okay.
That's not true. That's not true. I put a lot of effort in.
Yeah.
Only the best research goes into this. So, when he was 9, Bosco had a series of dreams which would play an influential role in his outlook and work.
Mm.
We love a saintly dream. So, in his memoirs, he said these dreams left a profound impression on him for the rest of life.
Did you have that dream, where you show up to your flock of sheep and you forgot to put on pants and it's very embarrassing and all the sheep laugh at you?
And that was when he knew he shouldn't be a shepherd.
Yeah.
No, he apparently saw a multitude of very poor boys who were playing and blaspheming.
Okay, are we sure he was asleep? He wasn't just like looking out the window. I don't want to cast aspersions on Italian youth, but
You don't think that's very imaginary?
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like, especially if it was a very hard luck time, it feels like you just see a lot of poor boys in your day-to-day life,
Yeah, I think that's true. I think it was maybe more of a premonition than a dream, possibly.
Is it a premonition if it's happening?
A daydream? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the multitude of, multitude is quite a dream-like word to describe a group, I think. Like, because if there were so many, you wouldn't really be able to tell that they were blaspheming unless they were like chanting.
They were just like chanting.
There's no God. There's no God. That's what I would blaspheme if I was a young ruffian.
You'd just be in a group. Come on, guys, let's all get going. Come on.
This is really going to piss off the man.
Okay. This is like we went to that Trump protest and all the nice British people were chanting shame on you every time somebody in a fancy car drove to go see where Trump was. And I was trying to get go fuck yourself going and nobody was going along with go fuck yourself. It was just all shame on you. And I was like, shame on you is not strong enough.
I was a bit worried that because I was wearing that hat that you gave because we're friends.
You won that hat. I could not give it to you.
Damn it. Yeah, so that hat that you gave me because we're friends, which said, well, it looked like a MAGA hat, but it said, what a joke. But I was a bit worried that like from a distance, people would see the hat and not read the words and think that I was a counter protester. So I was a little worried, but very glad to have my good friend with me to make sure that crowds wouldn't turn on me.
Yeah, okay. Whatever fiction you want to write about that day.
Talking of fiction, let's get back to this saint. He saw a multitude of blaspheming boys who were playing. And then a man appeared who was nobly attired with a manly and imposing bearing. And the man said to John, "You will have to win these friends of yours, not with blows, but with gentleness and kindness. So begin right now to show them that sin is ugly and virtue is beautiful." That was kind of like the thing that spurred him to start his mission, really, from later in life.
Okay, so he's gonna go out. So he's been lured by a manly men to go find more boys.
Yeah,
got it.
Oh my god, the proliferation of boys as well. It's great. You're gonna love it.
Oh my god, so many more boys.
Yeah, it's like a pyramid scheme for
for
collecting boys. Just strap in. It's gonna be great. So when he was 10 years old.
I feel like we've been doing this podcast for days. All right, go. All right, so now he's 10.
Yeah, he was 10 years old, and he went to the festive oratory, which I don't know what that is.
The festive oratory?
Yeah, that's just what it says, but it doesn't give any context.
I feel like if you're going to any of the oratories, the festive one sounds like the most fun.
Yes, definitely.
Real party, the festive oratory. Don't want to go to that business oratory.
So yeah, he went to the festive oratory when he was 10, and he started watching his classmates' attitude, and he ended up being quite good at like reading people, and he would end up refereeing fight among his classmates.
That's not good at reading people. That's just good at organizing.
Just telling who won.
Did they mean intellectual debates or like?
No, I think actual
they
fights.
Would come to blows.
Yeah, and I think he would like hold people back and stuff. And the older boys, like, so even though he was 10 and peaceful, the older boys were scared of him because he knew their strengths and weaknesses. weaknesses,
Okay.
apparently. So he would win with
That
like
is
mind games, maybe.
okay. Is this why he later became Don Bosco? Because he
Yes, it's just so
was like a weird
intimidating.
Machiavellian
Yeah,
manipulator who like could just prey on people's weaknesses and rose in power at the festive school.
exactly. And then also around that time, he went to go and see a troupe of traveling entertainers performing at a local feast in the nearby hill.
Yay! The circus is in
Yeah, the
town.
circus in town. He watched them and studied their tricks because he, as I mentioned, likes reading people. So he studied the juggler's trick and the acrobat's secrets, including tightrope walking.
Okay.
So you didn't expect it to go this way, did you?
I did not. I did not expect to go from dream revelation
Yeah.
to tightrope walking. It was not the arc I was expecting for this
No,
saint.
but I think I handled it pretty deftly.
Yeah, I was. He really kept me guessing there. That was amazing. No,
Hey,
wait. So he went in there and he was like watching the circus and he's like, I can do that.
yeah, basically.
Is he still 10?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I
Okay.
mean, I assume so, but again, not the best chronology.
He's still school age, let's say.
Yeah, which is the best time to learn new tricks.
It is.
Your brain's like a sponge. So he was inspired and began to put on his own shows, showing off his skills as a juggler, magician, and acrobat. And then,
Was he using this as like a preaching tool? He's like,
yeah.
now this ball represents God, and this ball represents the sun, and this third ball represents the Holy Ghost, and you can see how I jungle them. And
Yeah, he would. I love that, the Trinity. That's perfect as juggling. Yeah,
here comes the devil.
You think you're gonna pull rabbits out of a hat, and actually it's just endless loaves and fishes. Just when you get that in the magic trick where there's like loads and loads of scarves coming out of the hat,
but it's
just just fish. Brexit would love it. That's probably not going to be a topical reference by the time this comes out.
No. There'll be no Britain by the time it comes out.
Yeah, he would pray. He would hold prayers before and after the performances, and it was the start of what is now called gospel magic.
Oh my god, this is a real thing.
Yeah, there are magicians, Catholic magicians who do tricks, and they're like, "Do you know what the most amazing trick is? Rising from the dead." I assume, yeah.
The love of Christ.
Yeah.
Prepare to have your doubts sawed in half.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, he invented this method of preaching. So that
you know what? I've seen a lot of like in America, all kinds of religious groups are trying to proselytize to you and get you to join their various things. And you get a lot of like youth groups and lock-ins and like cool preachers with a guitar or like, hey, we're all gonna go to the roller rink, but before we're gonna go pray. And it's like, what? I was just promised a roller rink. And
yeah, I actually I went to a church like that when I was a teenager as well, and it was really weird because it was like it was very uncritical. So it'd be like, yeah, we're just hanging out playing dodgeball, it's so fun, also gay burn hell. It was like, what? Hang on, sorry. And, everyone, it's time for hot dogs. it was actually like that. So yeah, this is the start of that, I guess.
But I've never heard of this. I've never heard of anybody trying to use magic as a vehicle to interest kids in the Lord. Like it just seems like such a
well, yeah, because I
like
mean,
a
obviously,
strange
like
thing.
there are religious people who are like really anti-magic. Like people protested Harry Potter because it encouraged interest in the occult.
Maybe it is. Maybe this is a particularly American thing. Like maybe other countries, people are really into like the magic-based sermon.
I'll make you a balloon cross.
Yeah. Yeah, but like in America, yeah, maybe it's that it's too close to witchcraft, and they're like it just doesn't fly there.
Well,
So
it
maybe
must
that's why I
be
missed
kind
it.
of. I always think it's kind of confusing because, like, when I was a nanny, I looked after a family of very religious kids who were also autistic, and I was there when they learned that Father Christmas wasn't real, and there was like kids having meltdowns all over the place, and it was really difficult.
How many kids are we talking about?
Like 5. And and the mum was like trying to explain, like, because one of them was like, does this mean Jesus and the Easter Bunny also don't exist? And it was like,
like,
no,
okay, right.
so this magic man, fiction, but this one who rose from the dead, that's totally real and fact.
And bunny that delivers candy, I don't know, we're still on the fence.
Yes.
By you were there when they found out, do you mean you accidentally said Santa doesn't exist?
No, one of the kids came home from school and was like, someone told me Father Christmas doesn't exist. And then one of the other, what? And then, yeah, just all drama from there. But
It all went to shit.
yeah.
Okay, so he was using magic to convert heathens.
Yeah, and the money he needed to prepare these shows, he made by selling birds that he hunted. So just normal kid stuff.
Okay. I mean, okay.
So he would.
Were birds part of the act too, or I assume he's
And
hunting
now
them
it's
to death,
dead.
right? Yeah, I fly, but
Yeah, presumably he didn't hunt them just like, break their leg with a catapult and then sell them as pets. I think he was selling
break their leg with a cat.
cat.
Do you even know how hunting works? You could have easily set up like a trap to catch them in a cage. How do you think they get live birds? Like, how do you think people get live birds?
I don't. I'm just assuming that these are dead birds.
All right. Let's just assume that. So he's selling dead birds.
Yeah, to fund his magic show. I mean, I think, he could be an inspiration for us. Maybe this is how we should fund the podcast.
Okay, so then what happens?
So when he was 12, another 2 years.
Okay.
When he was 12, he left home to look for work on another farm since the quarrels with his older brother became unbearable. We've all been there.
Right.
Having to face life by himself at such a young age may have been responsible for his later sympathies towards abandoned children. Although
Okay.
obviously he wasn't actually abandoned, but he was like, you can imagine he probably had a pretty hard time at that point. Who knows if he was able to take his hunting equipment with him?
Oh, he wasn't allowed?
No, I'm saying who knows.
Oh, okay.
If we're going to speculate if he had a hard time or not.
His catapult? How would he get along without his catapult?
After begging for work unsuccessfully for a while, he ended up at the wine farm of a man called Louis Moglia. I don't know why this biography names him because it never mentions him again.
Also, why do they call it a wine farm and not a vineyard?
That's a good point. Maybe it's a Catholic.
Because there's a word for a wine farm. It's vineyard.
I don't know. I quite like wine farm.
Wine farm feels like a real American phrase. Like, y'all work down on the wine farm? Anyways, I got my wine still. Working on the wine farm. So I planted these bottles back in the spring. I ain't seen one bit of wine come up.
Anyway, I'm going to go harvest from the cigarette tree.
Yeah. So he's on the wine farm.
Oh, God. And he was able to study a little bit around his work, but he couldn't commit to that much because they were long days.
Okay.
And then in 1830, which is when he was 15.
15, yeah.
Move forward 3 years later, he met Joseph Cafasso, who was a young priest who...
Say it right. Joseph Cafasso.
Anyway, this priest identified natural talent in John and supported him in getting a theological I'll start again.
Say, this guy can see other people's weaknesses and he knows sleight of hand. Sounds like you've got a future in the clergy, son.
Oh, God. So, yes, he finally basically found a mentor to support his theological education.
Okay.
And 5 years later, I guess in the meantime, he was still shepherding grapes and doing a bit of study on the side.
Right.
In 1835, he entered the seminary at Chieri, next to the Church of the Immacolata Concezione. I couldn't not say that like that because it's so unnatural to say that many vowels, like in my accent. Immaculata, like it doesn't make sense. So the Church of the Immaculate Conception.
We'll just call it the mac and cheese church. So
that's my understanding of how Mary got pregnant. Who just ate a load of mac and cheese.
Yeah.
You're gonna love this next bit.
Okay.
While he was training to become a priest, John used to baffle his fellow students by doing magic tricks.
Yeah.
Including making
legend.
Including making a plate of steaming pasta disappear in one house and reappear in another. I think.
In a house. Yeah. Wait, no, he wouldn't just be like, all right, I'm going to make this pasta disappear.
And now it's in my belly.
Don't look.
He could apparently make red or white wine flow from the same bottle at will. So like switching between coming out of bottles.
Yeah, that's just a trick bottle. I mean, I feel if you're like, I mean, he's
well
done.
Just like, you got him. You see,
yeah. I mean,
it's like trick.
He's one of a credit card magician, right? Just buying tricks. It's not very impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe Trick Bottle, maybe at least he would have to have made it himself, right? Because I don't think they had joke shops in rural Turin in the 19th century.
Are you kidding me? That's where the joke shop comes from. It's a classic
well,
Italian,
you got the Turin
like,
shroud, which
yeah.
you disappear thing from, and then it started a whole industry.
They invented the lapel flower that squirt. That's a Turin. That came from Turin. That was called the Turin flower. They always called it that.
This is fact.
Anyways,
it is known.
It's fact. It's fact. Yeah.
He could also produce 24 eggs from somebody's pocket. Now, that's a lot of eggs.
But there was only 12 eggs in my pocket. That's amazing.
So that was how he built his reputation as a trickster, I suppose.
Miracle worker.
Yeah. I love it. Jesus cures blindness, heals the paralyzed, rises from the dead. This guy, though, 24 eggs. That's a huge omelet, to be fair.
Red and white wine out of the same bottle. Come on. I hope none of these actually count as his miracles later on when he comes to begin. Because it's a real low level for a miracle. But
yeah, I get the impression, though, that as the saints become more contemporary, there's less of an emphasis.
Boo.
And more just on their life. So as in leading a good
okay,
life.
well, because his life really isn't cutting it right now.
That's true. Okay, so all he's done, he's been poor, he farmed wine, and now he's at theological college doing magic tricks. Okay.
Yeah.
Then after 6 years of study, he was ordained a priest on the eve of Trinity Sunday by Archbishop Franzoni of Turin. I thought that was going to be more exciting. Fair.
It wasn't.
Fair. His first job as a priest was as a chaplain of the Refuge, a girls' boarding school founded in Turin by the Marchioness Giulia de Barolo.
Wait, she was a Martian?
No, a lady Martian.
A lady Martian.
It's the female version of a marquis.
Oh, a marquis.
Yes. No,
Yeah. Is that is it marquis or
gazebo.
marquis?
I think it's marquis. That's how I learned it in Shakespeare stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think you're right. It was like Marquis of Queen. Oh, I get that now. Okay.
Yeah. Or the Marquis de Sade. Actually, that probably was Marquis.
That's the Marquis. That's the Marquis de Sade.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
So it's a French. Well, anyways,
It's
stupid
an
royalty.
Anglicization thing, isn't it?
Where does the Marquis fall in terms of barons and earls? Is it above a baron or below? You think?
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's lower than saint. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, this is outside of our purview as a saint-based podcast, so we should just move on.
We've got to stick to what we are clearly experts in.
Yeah, what we know about, which is
not
hermits or magic, but.
His other ministries included visiting prisoners, teaching catechism, and helping out at many country parishes.
Oh.
But when he went to visit prisons, he was disturbed to see so many boys aged 12 to 18 in the prison, which is kind of fair. He was determined to find means to prevent them from ending up in prison.
So he just started breaking them out of jail. He used his magic
with his
skills
magic. Excellent.
to pick locks and scale walls. And then when the guards were on him, he's like, smoke bomb.
They were just they woke up just buried in eggs. Where did all these eggs come from?
The guards are running at him. He's just egg, 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 egg. You can't stop me. Egg.
And then, gets them with his bird slingshot.
Yeah. It's called a catapult, Anna.
Sorry. He decided it was necessary to try a new approach, and he began to go and meet boys where they were to try and, as a preventative measure for getting them away from potential life of crime and destitution, I suppose.
Okay.
Really.
Good for him. So he would be going to young children at their places of work, presumably coal mines or factories
stone
or
cutting,
abattoirs,
paving, plastering, masonry.
Just wherever boys are. Yeah, where young kids hang out.
It makes the wine farm seem like finishing school or something when you add that. So his mission sort of became known as an oratorio. And
then he got really fat and they called him a double-stuffed oratorio.
Oh, nice.
Anyways.
It wasn't simply a charitable institution. It took over his whole life and became his permanent occupation. He would start to look for jobs for the unemployed, and he tried to find accommodation for kids who were homeless while working as well. So the idea of being completely destitute while having at least one job is nothing new, sadly.
Yeah, the working poor, it's like, that was never a problem again. End of podcast.
He solved it. That's why he's a saint. He tried to accommodate them in his own home, but the first time he did that, the boys stole the blanket. And the second time, they emptied out the hayloft. So if you're gonna try and provide lodgings for boys, make sure you keep your hay locked up. Everyone knows that. That's like sheltering boys 101.
Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like stealing blankets, I'm like, I guess I'm not mad at somebody for stealing blankets because I feel like that's a real, like,
it's like one of the basic necessities. Yeah.
What'd they do with the hay? They didn't eat it, did they? I mean,
they sold it to people to look like traditional farmers with one strand hanging out of their mouth.
Oh yeah, like all my farmers' costumes need a single piece of hay that people can put in their mouth.
Genius! I know exactly where to get that. Yeah.
Yeah. I know some kids who've got quite a supply. I've got the hookup. Also, you need a blanket? I'm here for you.
This is how about some eggs?
eggs.
That should be.
Turns out this guy's got a coat. If you reach in the pocket, just endless.
Yeah.
I feel like we've really gotten off base with everything. So.
Well, basically, he was a priest and he set up some orders of the church, and it's kind of boring. So we got to do what we can.
So wait,
listen, when life gives you eggs, make lemonade. Okay.
Make egginade. I squeezed all these eggs. Egginade. So wait, you're saying if you came across like two young moppets with like a little stand on the sidewalk, and they were just like, buy some of our egginade, ma'am. It's only 25 cents.
I'd be like, why is there hay in this?
Yeah. There are so many shells in here. Can you at least get the shells out?
That's what egginade. It's to add crunch.
Yeah, it's not egginade without that crunch. What were we talking about?
I'm dying here. Oh man, I hope listeners get as much joy from this as we do, but I feel like it's doomed.
They couldn't
never
possibly.
will. This must be what doing improv feels like.
Improv is a ton of fun to do.
Awful to
I don't
watch.
blame anybody for wanting to do improv. I don't know who the madmen who go to watch. I don't know what kind of insane people go to watch it, but
maybe the audience is all people who auditioned but didn't get in, because
maybe
people love making the suggestions, don't they?
They do. The only improv troupe that I was in, they had some real hardcore followers and like just people who just came to almost every show, and they just really loved it. They just was like, oh, we just love this.
In fact, in the spirit of Don Bosco, that would probably be a rich theme for evangelizing, wouldn't it? Because like improv fans are like cult-like already.
That's fair. Yeah. Can I get a suggestion for a mortal sin that would fit in this space? I don't even remember where the fuck we were. So he started an orphanage.
Stole from the hayloft. Yeah, he tried to start an orphanage, but they ransacked it for hay. But he didn't give up. In 1847, he started renting rooms in the slums of Valdocco, presumably because it was cheap. He clearly had a nose for real estate. And at that time, he was living with his mum, who started helping with the work of taking in orphans. And she became known as Mama Margarita. So she was like a mother to all the boys, because in Catholic teaching, a family has to have a mummy and a daddy.
Fair.
And,
wait, does that mean he's the daddy
deviations.
and she's the mom? But then if she's the mom and he's the dad, that means he's his own grandpa.
That was one of his miracles.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
I'm impressed.
Right, anyway.
So in 1852, there were 36 boys. 2 years later, in 1854...
There were 12. We don't know what happened.
There were 115.
Oh my God.
6 years later...
Oh my God. Back down to 36. Don't know what happened.
6 years later, in 1860, there were 470.
Oh my God. That has to be all the orphans in
and
Italy,
then
right?
1 year later than that, there were 600.
Why? Can I ask why you're tickled so pink about the sheer numbers of orphan? That is, can I remind you of the definition of orphans? It is small children whose parents have died.
I think in the image in my mind is like, it's like with the eggs. It's like they just kept proliferating.
Orphans.
There were just too many. Yes, okay. I was not paying due respect to the fact that they were kids with dead parents, and that is a lot of
Yeah.
kids with dead parents, and that's very sad. But is it possible, if they were kind of a crimey kind of persuasion, is it possible that they weren't all orphans and they just were, attracted to go and live in free quarter with a guy
Maybe.
who gave out free omelets?
I think they were just like street urchins. I
Yeah.
think this is is this like an Oliver situation where he was teaching them to be pickpockets and
Yeah, the sleight of hand, it makes total sense.
yeah, I was gonna say, or just magicians, which I think I'd prefer if they were all pickpockets. Like,
Don Bosco School of Magic.
oh, I got a book from Don Bosco School of Magic. I cut out a coupon from the back of a comic book.
It's like a really shit version of your Hogwarts letter.
Yeah.
Your coupon for Don Bosco School of Magic.
It's a Don Bosco School of Magic. Hey, it's a 600 children. They all live in one building.
They each have 3 eggs.
Yeah. Learn classic tricks like the endless egg trick.
The maximum number sometime later, I'm not sure when, is 800 boys. So.
Wait, they were all just boys?
Yeah.
Oh, so if you were a girl, it's like you just fucking die in a gutter.
Yeah, basically. No, actually, this was the start of his like setting up the Catholic order that he made, and sometime later I'll just skip back. He worked with someone called Mary Mazzarello.
Did she later become a saint?
She did.
Oh, good.
Her feast day is May the 13th.
So keep an eye out for that.
Well, it's not a Sunday, so stay tuned for several years, and you might get to hear about her. So yeah, that was part of his work, I guess, but he didn't want to be directly involved in that side because girls are gross. They bleed and have emotions and stuff, right? They probably wouldn't be taken in by these magic tricks. They'd be like, "You got 24 eggs. I've got millions, and I've had them since I was born."
You don't have millions of eggs.
I think you do.
No, you don't.
How many do you have?
1,000.
I guess if you release one every year, but I guess you never get rid of all of them.
You release
I'm gonna
one every
Google
month.
this. Yes.
Oh, wait, have you not? You really need to look into your own
That's
reproductive
why
system.
when I'm on my period, I can't do anything because it just all got a whole year's worth. How many eggs?
Oh my God!
Do women
this is not within our charter either. Can we?
Yeah, but I feel like our listeners want to know this. 300,000. No, wait. At birth, there are approximately 1 million eggs, and by the time of puberty, only about 300,000 remain. But puberty's when you start getting rid of them, isn't it?
Maybe they just kind of fall out and on their own.
Okay.
A lot of spoilage with eggs. That's what people don't tell you about, just eggs in general.
I mean, that's why the egg and aid. Sorry.
That's why egg and egg never took off. Right. Yeah, because you're right. Because it goes bad really fast. And, that's why you got to get it fresh. You can't get that bottled egg and aid.
Oh my God. We should, merchandising for the podcast. We should make a delicious drink called egg and aid.
Yeah. Matt and Anna's egg and aid. And on the label, it's a picture of us, but we're also eggs.
That'd be super fun. I feel like you're going to have fun with Photoshop on that.
Yeah.
He moved the oratory around for a number of years, trying to find a permanent home.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 months, they were based in the church of St Martin, but the entire neighborhood expressed its annoyance with the noise coming from the boys who were playing.
It just knock on the door. It's like, hey, it sounds like you have 600 to 800 boys in there. Can you keep it down a bit? Because I mean, I can't imagine you have that many boys, but it kind of sounds like 600 boys.
They'd be like, "Mamma mia! Last time I looked, there were only 400." But too much magic.
Time to put some of those in a booth and make them disappear, if you know what I mean. It's like, come on, they're orphans. It's a victimless crime.
Yeah, a formal complaint was lodged against them, and rumors also circulated that the meetings conducted by the priest with his boys were dangerous, but not for the reason that you think, Matt.
Because they were magic? Because he put them in a box and then he put a bunch of swords in the box? And he's like, no.
That is pretty dangerous.
See? It just looks dangerous, but it's just a trick.
No, the fear was that their recreation could be turned into a revolution against the government. So they were evicted.
If only.
Yeah.
Not enough, can I just say, not enough people have child armies in revolution against the government. I just want to say. No, wait. I take that back. Too many people have child armies. One is too many.
I think so. So he didn't shy away from these difficult negotiations.
Wait, where the negotiations were like, look, let me keep 300 boys. We can't go higher than 100. Look, let's meet in the middle here. 250. Come on. Work with me here. Come on. Look, I promise. I don't care what happens to the rest. Let me give you the 200 best.
It's so he started as a wine farmer and now he's a boy farmer. Except they don't really propagate in the same way. No, he negotiated contracts for the boys to become apprentices. And by creating these contracts, he was protecting them from potential employers because at the time there was a lot of exploitation of working children. So these contracts required that any corrections made in the boys' behavior could only be verbal rather than by beating them. So that's pretty good.
Feels progressive for a mid-19th century.
Yeah, I mean, back in England, we were still shoving kids up the chimneys, and I think the cane was there until like 1950s. So yeah, he made them contractually obliged not to hit their miniature employee, which is good. I wonder if they were allowed to hit adult employee. Let's hope that Amazon never hits podcasts. It might give them ideas.
I feel like, number one, you shouldn't have to put not hitting people in a contract. Number two,
if it's there, you'd be reading that contract, be like, why is this here? He also managed to negotiate them days off on feast days and an annual holiday.
See, that's on feast days because every day is a feast day for a different saint.
Yes, so I think maybe it was only on their name day. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Just the big feast days.
Yeah, but to do this, he had to persevere in the face of a lot of adversity, I guess. And this led lots of people to the conclusion that he was insane. You don't want to hit
rights.
boys.
What a madman!
Yeah, and someone even tried to get him fined in an asylum. What's your reason for this Section 8? Well, he just doesn't want to hit boys. Like, he's got 800 of them and he doesn't want to hit them. Like, must be insane.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you see that kid over there? It's like, yeah, but you want to smack him, don't you? Yeah, of course I do. He's a young boy. Why wouldn't I smack him? What's he gonna do? Hit me back? It's like, all right. Well, here's the thing about John Giovanni. He says he doesn't want you to hit those boys. Like, what? Put him in an asylum.
Pretty much. Several attempts were made on his life, including a near stabbing, a bludgeoning, and a shooting.
Wait, what was it? A near stabbing, a near bludgeoning, and a near shooting, or just the stabbing was near?
I can only imagine that they were all near because I feel like if you successfully pulled off a shooting in those times, like you get one go,
But yeah, I feel like the bludgeoning's the one you're not coming back from. I feel like if you're bludgeoned, just like a pile of ground meat after that.
I wish that I had more on that and could tell you, but unfortunately,
so, several assassination attempts.
Yeah, including by bludgeoning. Maybe that's it. Maybe their idea of a bludgeon, because it sounds like these people who were trying to confound his work were not the smartest, people. So maybe they thought they had a bludgeon, but in fact they had a stick.
Yeah, that's the powers that be do hate a labor organizer. That's one thing that history's taught us.
So his work creating orphanages, finding work for these kids, he started to organize it into a religious order, which became known as the Congregation of St Francis de Sales, now known as the Salesians.
Okay.
And Francis de Sales, his philosophy was spreading the message of Jesus through a gentle approach with an emphasis on love and kindness rather than fire and brimstone. So that was like the kind of driving ethos of this order. And he divided it into priests, seminarians, and coadjutors, who were like lay brothers.
Okay. They were just lazy.
They were like, not quite enough work to actually be priest.
Right.
So yeah, he dedicated the rest of his life basically to nurturing and teaching abandoned boys.
Boring.
And training them to be priests and carrying on the work of the order. He died on this day, 31st January 1888, at the age of 72.
Yeah.
He was beatified in 1929 and canonized in 1934, both by Pope Pius XI, who knew him. So I couldn't find much about miracles, but I reckon being friends with the Pope probably helps.
Yeah. I just feel like that's like, my buddy, Don, just give him a sainthood. He was a nice guy.
Well, I guess surviving a bludgeoning pretty miraculous.
That is, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
He had like a few more premonitory dreams, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1854, when the Kingdom of Sardinia was about to pass a law suppressing monastic orders.
Why?
Well, I mean, clearly gathering lots of boys was threatening revolution, right? So they were like, well, just take away their meeting place. True. So
But I guess it's just the idea of banning monks is just like, oh, these monks.
Yeah.
What with their just sitting in their
Just praying and doing
in their
nothing.
monasteries all day and not really bothering anybody.
I guess maybe in 19th century Italy, monks were the same as like immigrants in Britain today. Like they don't actually harm anyone and actually do a lot of good, but there's a myth that they're a scourge.
The word you're looking for is scapegoat.
There we go. Yeah.
They're being scapegoated.
They were the scapegoat of
It's like
the day.
the reason you don't have a job is these monks are stealing your job.
Coming over here, building their monastery. So the Kingdom of Sardinia was going to pass a law to basically scupper Bosco's mission. And he reported a series of dreams about great funerals at court, referring to politicians or members of the court.
That's this is just a fancy way of saying he made a death threat.
But it was a holy one because it came in a dream, right? He said,
it's like, it's a shame. I see past this law. I see maybe some funerals in the future. I don't know. I got this strange vision.
So he sent a letter to King Victor Emmanuel II, admonishing him to oppose the confiscation of church property and suppression of orders. But the king failed to respond.
Wait, what?
So the king failed to respond. His actions, as it's written, I don't know if that's referring to the king or to John Bosco.
Okay.
Because this sentence says, his actions, which had been described by Italian historians as having manifest blackmailing intentions. So I feel like that could be either side, I guess.
I see. That's what I'm saying. He's blackmailing them by threatening their lives.
But it ended only after the intervention of the Prime Minister, Camillo Benso, who was Count of Cavour. The king's family suffered a number of deaths in a short period. So this blackmailing seems to have come true. From January to May 1855, the king's mother, aged 54, his wife, aged 32, newborn son, and only brother all died. I'm guessing they weren't obviously murdered, and it was like they died of illness, and the fact that it all happened within a few months.
I feel like it's pretty clear they died of divine retribution.
I think.
I feel like that's what they died of.
It's like a modern day Pharaoh Moses sort of situation.
Right.
So I guess that could be interpreted as a miracle.
Is murder a miracle? I feel like it doesn't count as a miracle if you murder somebody with your miracle.
Well, you say that, but a lot of the Old Testament is God doing genocides, isn't it?
I suppose so, but I don't think there's any saints from the Old Testament.
True.
Anyways.
Yeah, Bosco had another dream that I thought was kind of interesting. It was kind of racist. So obviously I found it interesting. No, it's in like...
So it's kind of the opposite of Martin Luther King's dream. It's just like, I see little white children and little black children not playing together.
No eggs for those kids.
Yeah.
No, it's
got to keep the white eggs and the brown eggs separate.
It's more of a colonialist sort of race. So I don't feel so bad for being mean about Italians anymore. Because of this, his Silesian order, as I said, is now established all around the world. And the first Silesians departed for Argentina in 1875. And Bosco also wanted to be a missionary, and he was really interested into Argentina as well. And his mentor, Joseph Cafasso, was opposed to the idea. But like when he was founding the society, the idea of going on mission obsessed Bosco. He really wanted to go traveling, basically.
Right. Paid vacation.
Yeah,
I get it.
Exactly. But there was no finance to do so. Presumably he was putting his money into looking after 8 boys. I mean, we've seen Cheaper by the Dozen, that film, right? It's like times that by another 50 or whatever.
I guess you do get into certain economies of scale when you go up to 800 boys. But then I feel like, the blanket budget alone.
I was going to say
not to mention what you're losing in hay. That really starts to add up after a while.
So his attempt to justify going for some travels, he claimed he had a dream where he was on a vast plain inhabited by, as in like field. Not.
I know. It's like I had a dream about he's a little bird and it flies in the sky.
And it is full of boys.
I know. And they give you a meal. It's on a little plastic tray, and they give you a little tiny fork and a little.
Omelette is actually quite popular airplane food, isn't it?
Is it? I've never had an omelet. What? Why? No.
I guess
Ew. Why would you eat an omelet on a?
Because it's
that sounds like the worst thing to eat on a plane.
I don't know. It can be easily done on a large scale. I don't know.
But I mean, it wouldn't be fresh. So they would cook an omelet and then refrigerate it and then give you a cold omelet.
No, they heat the food up plane.
I guess so, but I don't know. It seems like a bad thing. Who's reheating eggs? I just don't feel like you should be reheating eggs. Don't reheat eggs out there, people. Feels like a bad idea.
I guess you can reheat
I don't know.
things
If
that
you
have been
have
made
any...
with it. We're getting really sidetracked here.
Yeah.
We'll
Anyways, but
cut this
listen,
all
we're
out,
getting
right?
sidetracked. But if you have any good ideas about reheating eggs, please send them to
Wait, no,
ain'tmisbehavin
not ain't
at
misbehaving. You spelled
gmail.com.
it wrong again.
No, Saint Misbehavin at gmail.com.
No
And there's
G.
no G in behavin, but there is a G in Gmail. It's all one word.
So
Anyways,
yeah, he claimed he had another dream where he was on a vast plain inhabited by primitive people who spent their time hunting or fighting among themselves or fighting against soldiers in European uniform. In this dream, along came a band of missionaries, but they were all massacred.
yay! that dream had a happy ending.
A second group appeared, which Bosco at once recognized in his dream as Salesians, and he witnessed an unexpected change when the savages laid down their arms. I'm quoting the word savages here, obviously.
They say savages. We are not saying savages. Just for the record, we're not saying savages.
I thought that was implicit, but yes.
Yeah, okay. I feel like it's still worth saying.
I feel like we can never be too careful with expressing. I feel like you can't denounce racism enough times.
Yeah, that's fair. It's the official position of this podcast that racism is bad and should be stopped.
Good, yeah.
So
official, I love it.
I'm just going to drop that right at the beginning of the episode.
Right after
Despite what you may have heard throughout the episode, we want you to know we don't support racism or stereotype. This is, not our topic. Our topic is saints.
Yes. The fierce so-called savages laid down their arms and listened to the missionaries, which seems pretty miraculous because how the hell would they have spoken the same language?
That's a good point. Maybe the Salesians had bothered to learn the native language.
I
and they were like,
doubt it.
Oh, this is what you wanted.
This dream made a great impression on Bosco because he spent some years collecting information trying to identify the native people that he'd seen in his dream. When the order got a request to do missionary work in Argentina, he started researching the Indians of Patagonia and became convinced that those people were the ones he'd seen in
well, you've got native people, you've got a big plane. Yeah, the two things add up.
Well, obviously he would have thought that all brown people look the same, right? So
fair.
That would have made sense. But I don't believe he did ever go southern. Sad time. Can you guess what John's patronages are?
Well, I'm going to guess he was the patron of Hayless Boys. He was the patron of wine farms. Is he the patron saint of magicians?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But only as of like 2005 or something.
Wait, so they just added magicians to his patronage?
Yeah.
See, this is the thing with these late added patronages is I wonder if there are people writing into the Vatican. They're like, "Dear Vatican, I'm a magician, and I was hoping to get divine intervention for my magic act."
This literally...
Is there a saint I can...
That literally happened. And
really?
Yeah, well, so there was this magician priest, obviously.
Of course, yes, which is a common thing that I apparently was completely unaware of until this today.
Well, I'm glad you've learned something from this because I was fairly sure that everything I had to say was total garbage. So we've learned that there are priest magicians, and that's fun.
Okay.
That we can now claim that this is an educational podcast, right? But yeah, there's a whole article. In fact, the article about the priest who was petitioning to have a patron saint of magicians. That article was where I found out about a lot of the magic tricks that Bosco did. So without this petitioning guy, we wouldn't have known about all the eggs.
The great priestini.
Escaping from...
was it Pope Francis? I like the idea of the Pope taking off his big old Pope hat and being like, "Oh,
another hat."
No,
he's
from Argentina.
And the wizard priest was called Don Silvio.
Wait, they call him a wizard priest?
No,
or did you just call him a wizard priest?
I just called him a wizard priest.
Because wizard priest sounds like a D&D character class. Like,
yeah, he was a Salesian actually.
Okay.
And
is like sleight of hand one of the core tenets of Salesian order? It's like helping out young boys, spreading the gospel, also close-up magic.
Yeah. But maybe it's part of their training. So
that's hilarious.
Yeah. So this guy also does tricks in...
Hey, is there like a clown-based order of monks too?
I think this is... Oh, I see. They probably combine it just into...
Oh, okay.
Into silly
They're just
fun.
circus monks.
Because there was actually a magician math around this time. And apparently there were priests who were ventriloquists, trick cyclists, jugglers, and fire eaters. So
Oh, just a bunch of carny priests.
Well, we had our first proper poor saint, so carny priest is obviously the next logical step.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, he is the patron saint of magicians. Juvenile delinquents as well, I guess although
Yeah, like so you would pray to be not to be a better juvenile delinquent.
I guess
but to,
you'd
like,
pray to not be delinquent, but still presumably be juvenile.
yeah.
Young people, same thing, I guess.
All right.
School
Yeah, I guess so.
children, Christian apprentices, but not any other kind.
Wait, so a Christian apprentice would be like the trade I'm trying to learn is Christianity.
Hey, it's a very profitable industry, to be
We're
fair.
putting in a lot of unpaid work here.
Yeah. First, you get a Christianity internship.
Yeah.
Editors and publishers, apparently.
Editor, why?
Well, he wrote a lot of books.
Okay. How many's a lot? Do we have a number?
Over 70, and that was just from me counting a list because nowhere actually wrote the number, so I counted.
The real Stephen King over here.
So he wrote over 70 books, a lot of which were about expounding his ideas about his teaching method that became known as the Salesian preventive system. So this is the whole thing of, bringing people up with love rather than punishment.
How many of them were just magic manuals? Like,
well,
Don
it
Bosco's
seems like
guide.
this was a different kind of sideline
tricks.
because the titles included The Loveliest Flower of the Apostolic College,
Okay.
Angelina, or the Little Orphan Girl of Apennines.
I'm sorry, are these all like erotic novels?
Quite possibly, because the next one is Massimino, or The Encounter of a Boy with a Protestant.
Oh my god. Ooh.
And then The Life of St Pancras, which presumably not a history of train stations.
Yeah. Was it a history of how to get to Europe by train?
There we go. That's much better. Well done. He's also the patron saint of Brasilia because he supposedly had a prophecy where he foresaw an extraordinary new civilization which would flourish in central Brazil.
But he'd never been to any part of South America.
He just really bloody wanted to go on a gap year and they wouldn't let him, so he had all these dreams.
Exactly. Listen, guys, I've done a lot of work here. Can I just take one trip to South America?
Please.
Come on.
Look how many boys I've helped. If I get to 900, can I go?
It's funny that he's the patron saint of Brasilia. Brasilia is like the biggest artificial city ever built, I think.
Metaphorical.
Or was at the time.
Like magic.
Fun fact about Brasilia, when they built it in the 60s, they made it shaped like a jet because they thought jets were really cool. Anyways.
Nice. So clearly they, when he dreamed of a big plane. Hey.
Yeah. Hey, that's true. Wow, it's all coming together.
I couldn't have done this better if I'd planned it. I did plan it. So yeah, he has some relics.
Okay.
So the site of his first home for boys became where they built the Basilica of Our Lady Help of Christians, which also, I didn't get to this, but that's the name
Wait,
of
Our Lady Help of Christians?
Yeah. I think it should be Our Lady, Help of Christians, as in it's Mary and she helped.
Seems like, why is Mary getting all the credit for this work that this guy did?
Well, to be fair, it's about time a woman got credit for a man's work rather than the other way around.
But this was his work. He did the work. I get that a lot of women, like, their work goes unappreciated. Like, I don't appreciate any of your work, but
that's clear.
But he did the work.
Well, I think we're redressing the balance here. No, that was also the name of the girl version of the Salesians that he helped set up with old Mazzarello.
They weren't just called the girl Salesians.
The Salesianesses.
The Salesianettes.
So this basilica in Turin was built on the site of his first home boys, and his remains are contained there.
And all those boys were kicked out of that home.
We're building a church. Fuck off.
You've done such great work. We're going to undo all your work and build a monument to it.
Pretty much. Well, they were all priests at that point anyway, right? So they were just making them more jobs. So his remains are there, along with the relics of 6,000 or so other saints. I don't know where they came from. Yeah.
Wow. Good news for us. There's a fair number of saints.
Yeah,
so
that's
we could
true.
do this show for years.
Jesus. And there are pilgrimages to the church. So I guess you can assume that there were some miracles there, maybe, because that's what's happening. They're mainly pilgrimages by magicians.
You're joking, right?
Apparently, I don't know if this is all the time, but at certain times outside this church, you'll see crowds of hundreds of people dressed as clowns and magicians performing in the forecourt middle of the church, juggling, doing sleight of hand tricks, or walking on stilts.
Okay, now I'm into this. Now I get why people pilgrimage there. It's like they pilgrim to the Edinburgh Festival.
Yes.
It's like, there's just a lot of entertainment there, you know?
It's the Edinburgh Festival of Catholicism.
of northern Italy, and also very specific
Yes.
Catholicism.
We should go there. I think it would be a good development for the podcast if me and you just go. We can expense it.
To who? What?
Well, it just means it'll be tax deductible, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, go and do maybe a live episode from the circus church.
Oh, is it shaped like a big tent? I would love
that would be great. I think it's probably still shaped like
a regular church.
Yeah.
I do feel like this is a good place to do a pilgrimage because you get 6,000 saints there, so you're knocking a lot of saints off your list all with one trip.
It's like when people want to go and visit all of the states in state, they go to the Four Corners region. You
can knock out 4 right there. Yeah,
it's the same thing.
You just go to New England where they're real small. You can go from one to the other, real easy.
So yeah, that's pretty much him. The Salesians continue to operate worldwide.
That sounds ominous when you say it like that.
Yeah, well,
the Salesians are still at large.
Well, they sadly, a number of their school churches have been at the center of child sex scams. So
no, I feel like we don't need to say that again because I feel like it's just understood.
Yeah, but it's like specifically this order. I guess, when
really?
you get a lot of boys together.
Wait, why are you blaming it on the boys?
No.
Sounded like you were blaming it on the boys.
God. You have thrown a lot of accusations/allegations at me today. I'm not appreciating it. Well, in 2017, there were 14,795 members of So, that's a lot more than 800. Yeah. There are 1,800 houses, and they primarily operate shelters for homeless or at-risk youth still. So, presumably not putting children to work.
One would hope, but also abusing that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, anyways.
Sadly, the way I structured this meant that we end on that note, which is kind of sad. But I think, like Jesus himself, this guy did a lot of good and then may have been misinterpreted further down the line.
I thought you were going to say, like Jesus himself, I tried really hard. And I think this guy, Don Bosco, sounds like he did. He tried really hard. He rose himself up. He's doing his best. He's out there, much like us, we have day jobs, but we also want performing arts jobs that we really love. So he's out there doing magic at night.
He found a good way to combine
it into. He's out there trying. He's trying to change the game as far as preaching goes.
Yeah,
he's
very much.
Let's throw a little magic in here, see how that works. Works pretty well, it turns out. I think that good on Don Bosco. Seems like you put a lot of good in the world. Do you think you'll ever foresee needing Don Bosco to intercede for you? Or
absolutely. I mean, I actually quite enjoy close-up magic sometimes. Obviously not in the pandemic these days.
No. Too close. That's the worst possible thing. We talk about how comedy has gone away because of the pandemic, but your close-up
magic, that industry has died even more.
You're just fucked.
Yeah,
you're just.
Yeah, actually, Danny does tricks sometimes. So I
don't need to hear about your bedroom habits.
Hey, but, I guess if I was trying to figure out what he'd done, I couldn't. Then maybe I would ask for some saintly intervention.
Okay.
I don't know.
I think that I could see that. Yeah, if I was ever at a magic show and it started going badly, I might be like Don Bosco.
If you were David Blaine and the box suddenly just fell off from the crane that it was suspended from.
I don't think that counts as magic.
That's probably when you would pray. Yeah, no, that's fair.
But when I set up the comedy open mic here in Oxford and the weekly comedy open mic, and then I found a listing website where you could list open mics, like Open Mic UK or something like that. But it was for every kind of open mic. So then they had all these check boxes please check off what kind of open mic this is, and it's acoustic or piano or
comedy,
poetry, or comedy. So I checked the comedy box, and then a few boxes below that I saw one that said magic, and I was like, ooh. And I clicked the magic box as well. I was like,
you clicked the magic box, and what happened when you clicked the magic box?
Nothing.
Oh,
I don't know.
That's very disappointing.
I was just kind of hoping that maybe we get some magic in here, just kind of mix up the comedy every once in a while. And I was like, I can see my life being 5 years from now running this open mic and being like, remember when this was a comedy open mic? It's somebody's like, no, I don't remember that. Now, can you help me shove these doves down my pants?
I was gonna say, surely open mic is like one of the realms that like. Magic is one of the realms where open mic is not enjoyable because it'd be like, is this your card? Is this your card? Is this your card?
But they must
Is
exist.
this your
You know what? My sister-in-law was telling me that they live in Highgate in London, there is like a circus open mic nearby.
Oh my, I can imagine the insurance on that to be through the roof. Like, sticking the swords in the lady goes horribly wrong every time.
No, this is like acrobats.
Well, that's even worse.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, it was insane. She said she went. It was fun. I guess
the risk factor, like the element of danger, is heightened, so there'd be a bit more excitement. Like, literally, you know how people say at open mics that anything could happen? At the magic or acrobatics one, that's literally true.
It's like I was like, I was here last week. Somebody set themselves on fire. It was pretty insane. Yeah, I come every week. One guy brought an elephant. It was really inappropriate. Anyways, Anna, thank you so much for such great research.
I feel like you did a very good job of saying that non-sarcastically, so thank you.
No, you did. You did lots of very thorough research, especially on the early years of his life.
And the specificities of the magic tricks, I guess.
Yeah, that was pretty good too. But thanks a lot, Anna. I guess we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. We should have a sign-off like,
have a very blessed day.
Have a very blessed day. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.